Hello, everybody. It's Sunday, which means once again it is time for the APAC division to round out this week's MRL action. This time around Azerbaijan. I am Unicorn today alone. Unfortunately, Seb unavailable. Got a bit of an issue with his throat, but regardless, we will soldier on with APAC. And what a week of racing it has been here around Azerbaijan. Let's have a quick look at the circuit that we're going to go around. It's 20 turns, 6 kilometers long with 2 DRS straights, and well, it's provided a lot of action so far. The first wet race of the season in Tier 1, and well, that made it quite the spectacle to behold. We had so much fun watching that race, and I think tonight is going to be no different, or this morning, wherever you are in the world. Hope you're having an excellent day as we get ready to go racing here for round 8 of the APAC division. We're just waiting on a few more drivers, and we've got a minute to get them in here. So it's just going to be brilliant. Baku, after Monaco, it's still a tightly walled circuit. It's still, a pretty tricky track to get absolutely right lap after lap, but at the same time, there is a lot more scope for overtaking. That entire first section, all of those corners, it's possible to go up the inside, try it around the outside. It's a very nice track to try and get those overtakes done. Then Sector 2, you've got that infamous castle section, turns 8 through 11. Then exiting turn 12. If you get a nice enough run through there, or someone has an issue, maybe breaks an end plate off, you can have a problem, and you can try and send it up the inside through 13, 14, or into 15, where you can do the tight entrance through there. And we'll see a few drivers, I think, in qualifying, taking what some people like to call the esports line through there. But other than that, there is plenty of opportunities in 10, 16 as well. You've got to get a brilliant exit out of that one. With that being said, we are at the time, we are half past, so fingers crossed we can just get those last couple of drivers in here as quickly as possible, because we want to get that racing action underway as quickly as possible. And that's what we're all here to see, that awesome racing action that we always have here in Misfits Racing League. But with that being said, we've just waiting on one more driver. So once we've got them, everything can get underway, and we can start that 18-minute short qualifying session that we've seen throughout the season and we'll continue to see. And well, today could be a pretty big day in the standings. We've got a pretty tight battle up at the top, although Ben the Bear doesn't appear to be here. Not sure if that's the one we're waiting on. Ben the Bear right now doesn't look like he's here in the lobby, and this could give Mikau a little bit of breathing room in that championship, where Ben, 5 wins in a row. It's been a monster performance to him over the last month and then some, and he's really closed the gap to Mikau, who hasn't really put a foot wrong since the season began. Ben, obviously retiring from those first 2 races, really put him on the back foot coming into the season. But Mikau, first in both of those 2 races, took very much advantage of Ben's, misfortune, and then he's come second in every single race apart from last week. Last week, Mikau was the first time. It hasn't finished on a podium. He did get P4, so again, not a bad finish by any stretch of the imagination. But Ben the Bear, I'm sure he would have wanted to be here if he is available. I think we've just about got everyone in, because we are now at 15 drivers. Is it Ben the Bear that we were waiting on? I can't see the Mercedes driver, but we'll see when we load into the session. But we got 15 right now, and well, the Mercedes squad as well. They've been doing absolutely brilliantly. Captain of Gold there right now in P3. And we are being told we're getting things underway here. Mikhail popping that in the chat, which is wonderful. And then qualifying as always, followed by that 50% race. And obviously, more action tonight. F2 for those of us in Europe, 8 p.m. GMT, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I can't imagine that there are too many people in that time zone awake right now, given that it must be about 5:30 a.m. for them. But here we are loading in to qualifying now, and well, we had a dry qualifying on Thursday night, and then followed by a very just intermediate race. There was no full wet weather, and it didn't dry out just enough. Shenjay tried it on the slick tires, didn't work out for him, resulted in a crash. So rain would be nice to see. Obviously, that roll of the dice going every time. We've seen it only once this season in a full race. We haven't seen it anywhere else. APAC, we've had a few teasers here and there. At the end of Zandvoort, we saw a little bit of race, but it's very sunny here in Azerbaijan right now as we load into qualifying. 15 drivers on that grid, and we'll go through it in just a moment. But yeah, no rain at the moment. Fingers crossed we'll get a weather forecast. Light cloud in both sessions, says Mikhail. So big thank you for the weather report, as we can't see it, but light cloud, so no rain forecast. And well, safety cars are very possible around here, but I don't think that will extend the session long enough to see rain. But there we go. We've got a Haas coming out of the garage. Which one is it? That is, in fact, Shrimp. So we'll hop on board with him for the first out lap. And let's see who is on this grid tonight. We've got T-Mac up at the top of the time tower at the moment. Remco Van Putten. Then Cello, Combined YouTuber, Panda, Ben the Bear. He has made it. He is here. Helium, Eccentric, Shrimp, Peter, Stars, Mikhail, Captain of Gold, Emzo, and Trin there in the last spot on the time tower at the moment. Obviously, no one's still a lap time here, and a couple of drivers, Ben the Bear, Combined YouTuber, hopping onto that medium compound of tyre. And so something we're too used to seeing around here in qualifying. Only 15 drivers, though, so it might be possible to squeeze into that top 10 on the harder compound of tyre. But we'll stick on board with Shrimp, who is on that soft compound. You can see both the Mercedes very tight together right now. Wonder if there's going to be a slipstream there between the two of them. But everyone else on their own at the moment, and slipstream around here is Shrimp not going for that, optimum line, taking a lot of the curb. We won't see it too much in the race. You can take it in the race, but in qualifying, it shaves off a fair amount of time, and you're wanting to just make this lap as best as you can and as fast as you can. Coming through 18 and 19. And you can see ERS already in full swing for the Haas driver, because you really need to carry as much speed down this straight as you can so that you get the fastest run down into turn one. But here he goes, crossing the line to start the first flying lap of the session. Turning to the right as possible to open up turn one. Nicely done through there, hugging the wall on the right-hand side, down into turn two. Again, another 90-degree corner here. Again, pretty nicely done through there. DRS open now as he runs down towards turn three, a place where we're going to see a huge amount of overtakes here this evening, no doubt. Now down into that third corner, just about opening up to all of that curb on the outside. You can see how close these walls are, despite the fact that this track is good for overtaking. You can't get too close to these walls. Now down into turn 5 through turn 6, and that's the little chicane there. T-Mac pulling off to the right there, letting his teammate by on this flyer. Shrimp down into turn 7 now. You can make an optimistic overtake through there as well, but now into the castle section somewhere where we absolutely will not see overtaking through, as it's pretty much just about wide enough for one car, let alone two. Out through 13 then for the Haas driver. Now coming through 14. All of these flat out again into 15. Are we going to see him? We're not going to see him take the inside line and just cut that curb as much as you can. It's possibly the most lenient corner in terms of track limits there is in this game. Now, turn 16. You need a brilliant exit out of there, and he's got a pretty clean one here in the Haas through 18 into 19. And absolutely flying down this flat out section through 20. It's a very slight corner. Eccentrics picked up a 5-place grid penalty with a collision with his teammate. but it's shrimp to the line. What can the Haas driver produce here? It's a 138.4 to open up qualifying, and well, there is an entire front wing missing from that Ferrari. Not what he wants to be doing. Let's have a look, see what Ben the Bear is capable of producing on these medium compound of tires. Captain of Gold, his team at 137.9 to put him at the top of the leaderboard. Panda at 139.3, so a little bit of a variation right now. Ben the Bear 138.8 on the medium tires, so I think that might just be to have given his teammate slipstream potentially. Let's have a look. Who else is flying right now? Remco Van Putten in the Red Bull, currently sitting 4th in the standings, just 2 points behind Captain of Gold there in the Mercedes, who's currently sat at the top of this timing tie here in qualifying. Here he comes. He's set a fastest sector 2 according to the track map, coming out of turn 19 now down towards turn 20. Really motoring it down this straight. DRS soon to be enabled. There it goes, the rear wing popping open. We've got Helium, I think that was, hopping into P3 at 138.6. But where can Remco go fastest? To 137.719 for the Red Bull driver. And that is a very nicely put together lap for him. His teammate Peter on for a nice lap, but invalidates his first run of the day. Stars to the line now. He's set at 138.7. His teammate Mikkel, current Drivers' Championship leader, 134 points for the Australian. Can he hold that here today, or is Ben going to overtake? It's 4 points between the two there, clear of everyone else by an absolutely huge margin. But it is possible that Ben overtakes here tonight. Mikkel, nicely done through the first 2 corners now. DRS enabled out of turn 2, down towards turn 3. And Alex Biddo around for some commentary, so I think we could get a second commentator in here. So give us a second while we get that sorted out, but we'll stick up all with Mikkel for the time being. But yes, Biddo, if you hold in the commentary box, we'll be there in just a moment. But Mikkel now out of turn 6, down towards turn 7 in the AlphaTauri, and looking good as he approaches Castle. Nails the entrance, keeping it as tight to the walls as he can. Now out through 12, you can see Helium there pulling off to the side, letting the fast mover by. It's a lot easier to get clear of traffic here. And now down into turn 15, where we see him take a lot more curb than we've seen a few of the other drivers. So this could be a really good lap for the AlphaTauri. And, well, it looks like his teammate Stars is ready and waiting to give him a little bit of a slipstream down towards the line. Now you can see the other AlphaTauri just slowly trundling down this straight out of turn 20. And that's going to give Mikkel just a little bit of extra speed. And you can see there, 211 miles an hour, 212. And down towards the line, it's P3 for the Australian, 138 flat. So let's just get Alex Biddo here with us in the commentary box. And there we go. We've got a yellow flag. I think that's just people slowing down, possibly to give teammates a slipstream. Peter still yet to set a valid lap time in the Red Bull. Down into turn 3. And still a little shaky for the Red Bull, and he hasn't set a valid lap time yet. We saw him invalidate the first one. I'm wondering if that's exactly what happened on the second run as well. And the Red Bull driver, his teammate right now, fastest in the session at 137.7. Helium, he's out of the session. He's called it quits in the pit lane at 138.6. Will be his fastest time. So, wonder what happened there. And we do have Alex in the commentary room. Alex, how are you doing today, my friend? A little late, but we are here. I forgot to message you earlier, but here we are. Alex, Baku. A little bit of a brief overview from your point. What do you think we're going to see tonight?
Rain, hopefully. I don't think we have the weather report, or probably yes, because I'm late and I really don't know what is going here. So really wanna know which is the weather for today. I guess it will be dry, but just hoping some drop can go on this street circuit of Baku.
Yeah, we do have the weather report. Light cloud both in qualifying and in the race, so no rain, unfortunately. Peter, he has set a lap time on 138.5 and not quite the 37.7 that his teammates put down there, but still a brilliant lap time from the Red Bull driver. We've got a few more drivers out on flies right now. Eccentric in the Ferrari. He's missing end plates again, and that's not the first time we've seen that, so we're going to try and see if he can get a lap time in. It's 10 minutes gone in this qualifying session, and that Ferrari still yet to set a lap time. His teammate also, combined YouTuber, on the mediums right now. He's yet to set a lap time too. He does, however, have both end plates attached to his car, and that's going to help him out here as we come down. I have adjusted Alex's volume, so fingers crossed it is improved in just a moment. Thank you, chat, for letting us know.
Yeah, probably need an invite if you can send one quickly. Should be good. So I can join the lobby.
Absolutely. We'll get it in just a moment as combined. Through turn 16. He's still valid, and I want to see where this puts him. I think Ben the Bear, the only other driver right now, a 138.8 on mediums, and Ben in 11th place in qualifying. It's not exactly where we're used to seeing him, as the Ferrari now steams down the start-finish straight. DRS wide open now as the number 15 Ferrari to the line. He will set his first lap time of the session, but it's a 140.3, and that is not what we want there from him. He would want to be going much faster than that, so we've got Ben the Bear, I think, giving Captain Gold a little bit of a tow down into turn 1 before starting his flying lap of his own. And, well, I'll try and get you an invite in just a moment, Alex, but obviously the game, you have to pause it. So, give me 2 seconds on that front as we watch Ben the Bear's qualifying lap, because this could be the fastest we've seen so far, given his previous performance over the course of the season and how fast we all know Ben to be, as through turn 3 into turn 4. Now, down turn 5 and 6. Very nicely done from the Mercedes driver, keeping it nice and composed into 7, taking it very tightly through there. Nicely done. Now through castle section again, just super tight to those walls. A little bit of a snap through there, but I think he's just about made it. There's Panda pointing the wrong way in the Williams. Thankfully doesn't impede Ben's lap here as he storms through the fast corners of 13, 14, now down into 15. Remco Van Putten improves, a 137.5 coming out of the Dutchman to put him further ahead of Captain Gold, who's on a 137.9 currently. Ben now through 18, 19, and down towards the line. Here he goes, DRS. Enabled for the Mercedes. What is it going to be? It's looking like it's going to be a very, very strong time here. It is a 137.485 and just about puts him ahead of Remco Van Putten. So nicely done from him. Give us 2 moments here while we get Alex into the lobby, ladies and gents. And there we go. So fingers crossed, Alex, you should be able to get in here now, as Mikau is on a fly in the AlphaTauri. He's coming down towards turn 15. Again, actually not taking all of that curbing on the inside line. A couple of these drivers actually are running. We saw Ben do that as well, Alex, and he's up half a second here right now. This is a brilliant lap time coming out of the AlphaTauri. This could be pole if he hooks up this Sector 3 just a little bit faster than he was a moment ago. Now down towards the start-finish straight. He hasn't got a tow from his teammate, but looks like he was trying to get one off Shrimp there. He was in his way into the pits. So 137.7. So he's actually lost time through Sector 3, and I wonder whether just maybe a worse exit out of turn 16 there has cost him.
Yeah. Hello. So yeah, I'm on the session. Probably Mikau had a little bit of toe on the other attempt, and then the Delta now is not improving on that sector 3. But either way, he will have a 37.7. I think he lost 2 tenths on the course of that sector 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, definitely lost a little bit of time through there. Peter, he's found a bit of time through the opening sector in the Red Bull, and he was struggling earlier, Alex, to track limits and just really trying to push his car to the max here around here. And that red track map, not something we're too frequently seeing here around Baku, given that it is mostly just tightly walled. So not too many places to extend them, but you can do it wide out of 16. I think if you take even a little bit too much through 15, you can find some here as well. You can see Peter there avoiding the curb once more. Now through 16. Is this where he's been invalidating, going wide here? Well, it's not going to be the case this time. He's set a purple sector 2 according to the track map. Now through 18, 19 for the Red Bull driver. What can this lap time be as he comes out of 20 into the DRS zone and to the line for the Red Bull driver? It is going to be 7th place, a 138.3, just 1.5 tenths found, enough to put him ahead of Stars.
Yeah, and I'm wondering which strategy the drivers, of course, I can see a lot of drivers now on the softs on this top 10. I really don't think they will be putting the medium to try to improve that lap time. I think everyone is going to the softs here, Unicorn.
Yeah, absolutely. There's really not too much scope for qualifying on the mediums here. It is, you know, it's not Monaco. It's not quite as important here to be pole position as it is at Monaco, but at the same time, you want to be as high up the grid as possible just to try and be ahead of as many drivers as you can going into that coastal section. Cello, a fairly big improvement from him. 3 tenths puts him into P8 ahead of Stars, puts him between Peter and the AlphaTauri driver.
Yeah, now we have Panda and I think as well T-Mac on the Flyers, just entering sector 1. I think probably T-Mac is a little bit ahead. Yeah, he's improving 2 tenths out of sector 1, so it seems like this is can be the better lap for the Haas driver right now on turn 7, cutting the inside curve as we know, short shifting in the run of turn 8. We'll see if this time he does a little bit of lockup. It doesn't unstable his car, so at least it's good on the exit of turn 12, a little bit tight there, not taking profit of all the curve on the outside and all that traction zone down to turn 14, turn 15. Let's see if he jumps the curve, and he does actually, probably a little bit more slower than running, than going around. So right now it will be 36,000 down on his time, so he's red right now, going to turn 18, turn 19. Let's see if he changes something on his aerodynamics and he can improve on that sector 3, but it doesn't seem like if he was red on the end of sector 2, Unicorn. Let's see when he crosses the line. The Haas driver will try to go on the top 10, and it's not enough. He will stay on P13, Unicorn.
Yeah, he found a little bit of time as he almost spins it coming out of turn 1, but yeah, like you say, just losing that time through sector 2 really cost him. There's not too much time to find through sector 3 as long as you get turn 16 nailed. And here comes Panda. He has found a bit of time in the Williams. He's currently sitting in P12, and here he comes now. DRS enabled, hugging the pit wall, and well, there's 2 tenths to put him into P8. And well, the Williams driver right now, a very consistent driver, we could say.
And Captain just having an amazing toe from his teammate doing the Mercedes strategy all down that main straight and put himself on P2. Right now he won't improve, he's just aborted the next lap. Of course he won't be using that tire 2 laps on a row. So Remco right now jumps into pole position, this provisionally, because Ben right now is on a lap, he's on sector 1. Let's jump on board on the Mercedes driver because he's just exiting sector 1. He's the 34.1 for sector 1, improving 1 tenth and more time there. So let's jump on this camera because this can be an amazing lap from him. But it's a yellow flag on castle section and it's eccentric, and there will be contact for the Mercedes driver, so he will not be able to improve that lap time.
That is a huge problem for Ben the Bear Remco Van Buren has just been saved, I think, by an issue through Castle. Looking for who else could be flying here. That Ferrari really costing not only himself, but Ben, and maybe even Stars as well, because I think Stars had to avoid all of that as we've got Trin now to the line. This really opens up those top spots. Trin finds P5, half a second, but not enough to beat Ben, Captain, or Mikhail. But Stars right now, I'm sure he's absolutely gutted with what's just happened. Ben as well, of course. But what a moment that is. Just a huge problem for some of these drivers here in qualifying. You don't want your qualifying run to be ended for any reason, but something that's out of your control. It's so unfortunate there's yellow flags, like you say. Well, there's not a lot you can do to avoid a car that's just, you know, parked in Castle. It's just impossible to get around it. And that is what happens at Baku. And now Remco Van Buren sits on pole position. And here comes Ben into the pit lane, his teammate following suit. I think once Emzo's into this garage as well, the race can begin, but
yeah,
well, you've got to hope that they can get themselves, you know, back in the game, Alex, because, well, that's going to infuriate you in qualifying.
Yeah, it's not only Ben who got locked there and impeding the lap by, I think it was in a Ferrari of Eccentric. It was as well Stars. He just lost all the wing out of Castle, do that contact with both drivers, where it was impossible just to navigate around or on any way. So yeah, now we have this short qualifying result unicorn. So yeah, it will be Remco on pole position.
Yeah, Remco in pole by almost 2/10 after that incident in Castle. Stopped Ben the Bear improving. Captain of Gold, Ben's teammate in P3. Mikhail, P4 in the AlphaTauri. Trin in P5. Then we have Shrimp in 6th. Peter in 7th. Emzo in 8th. Panda in 9th. And Cello rounds out the top 10. Then we have Stars, Helium, Combined YouTuber, T-Mac, and Eccentric. Not setting a time here. Really struggling actually to get a lap in here, and we saw a lot of damage on that Ferrari throughout the session, and that does not bode well for a race where you've got to keep that wing as clean as you can and keep it as consistent as possible. But here we are. If you're just joining us, it's round 8 of MRL APAC division, the last F1 race of the week here. And well, a big shout out to everyone watching at home for all the follows, the supports, everything like that. A big shout out as well to our partners in Next Level Racing. You can check them out in the link in the chat with !NLR or in the panels below. They've got some excellent sim racing equipment, primarily rigs, and be sure to check them out. They're doing brilliant things for the sim racing community, and you know, they're just an excellent partner of ours. But with that being said, Alex, 5 seconds and the session is underway. And well, let's see what these drivers can produce for us. And they've got a lot to live up to after that Tier 1 race. And I'm sure you've got a few thoughts about that one yourself, Alex.
Oh yeah, that was intense. Just saying like that. So yeah, we will have these drivers outside of the top 10 will be Stars and Combined YouTuber with those mediums, Helium, T-Mac, and Eccentric with the hearts. So it's a split strategy for that bottom 5 on this grid. Top 10 qualified on the softs, and we'll start of course with the same compound today. So Remco from Ben, from Captain, from Mikhail, then Trin, Shrimp, PTR, Enzo, Panda, and Shello will be the top 10. I'm very excited to see this start of the race, Unicorn.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, Mikhail's got a little bit of a problem here, and Captain of Gold being ahead of him, because well, Captain can just sort of tail gun for Ben, and while Ben, you know, he's got exceptional pace, he does actually have to get past Remco Van Buren here. And if Remco holds Ben up, or if Remco starts running away, Ben needs that buffer to Mikhail behind, and Captain of Gold can really provide that. But at the same time, he wants to fight for those podium positions himself. So we'll have to see how that team dynamic happens, because you don't always see it right from the offset. But Mikhail, brilliant racer. He's always so consistent and keeps himself as clean as he can, and that really benefits him in these races. And we've seen it, you know, 6 podiums right now to his name, 2 wins, and well, those were both when Ben the Bear didn't do it. And want to hear your predictions in chat. We've already got the actual channel prediction in there, and a big shout out to Vinny Madden, aka Seb, who's usually here in the commentary for the Tier 1 subscription. Big thank you, and Make sure you get your channel points predictions in. Will Remco Van Putten win this race from pole, or is someone else, Ben, Captain, Mikkel, or someone entirely different, able to take the victory here around Baku as we come out of Sector 2 on the formation lap? We've got everyone in the top 10 on softs. I wonder how the mediums and the hards are going to play into this one, Alex. The tyre strategy can play a big role. We've seen a couple of undercuts so far this week, and it can really, you know, save or hurt a driver's race.
Yeah, totally. Starting on the hards is kind of risky because if there's a early safety car on lap 5 or so, you will try to go with mediums to the end from there, or just stay out with the hards and then put the softs at the end of the race. I guess that should be the risk you have with the hards. Medium is more flexible, so you can stay on the strategy of the softs and extend more laps and then put the hards. Or if there's a early safety car, just put the hards, as well as the soft drivers will do. They will try to pit as soon as they have an opportunity. BSC, safety car, yellow flags doing a pileup. But yeah, now all the 15 drivers here on the line, Unicorn. So take us away on this start of the race.
Here we go. We got 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Baku, and away we go. A little bit longer than we had in Monaco to react to that. Captain O'Gauld's got a brilliant start off the line, but so is Mikkel on the inside. You can see Ben's going up the inside of Rico. Captain O'Gould is round at turn 1. He's been pushed off the track. Emzo, he's going to the nail with, I think, Panda, but he's just about got past. You can see there his teammate Cello's having a bit of an issue through turn 2. He's getting on the inside. He's got the AlphaTauri Stars right there beside him, but he's been blocked by Peter. He can't get away past the McLaren, and he's had to back out, leaving Cello to pick up P8 once more. Shrimp, he's going side by side with his teammate. M plates are flying right now, Alex, in turn 1. You can see there Shrimp's gone for a huge dive, and it hasn't worked out for him. Another M plate. Stars is getting skewered out of turn 4. And there's a yellow flag, no safety car, no VSC, and everyone still in this race as we've got Panda looking on the inside.
Eliam, I think. Eliam on the outside of Stars on turn 6. I think Stars has damage, and I hear some contact there on the walls, but I don't know where, and it's PTR. No, it's Panda without wing on Castle section, losing all the portion of that front wing. On turn 8 will be massive for his races and softs, though. He will try to go to the end, and there's safety car. There's the safety car we're talking about on the beginning of this race, and a lot of drivers will try to take profit of this after all the contact we had on turn 1. I think it was McLaren who was late on brakes, tapped the side pod of Mika when Mika was just standing on the outside line, and I think Captain was the worst there, who had the worst way to navigate turn 1 as he went to the runoff area. And I don't know if he has damage. Probably he should have, but well, it doesn't seem like he has visual damage. But yeah, a lot of drivers will have to pit right now. Remco is waiting, he's waiting, and he crossed the line on the entry. Remco and Putin crossing the line on that entry. Ben the Bear will stay out. Mika will take as well the pit lane, and all other drivers as well trying to go for the hards to the end.
Well, a very interesting race start indeed. We've got Peter there getting held behind his teammate, and a lot of drivers, Alex, with lap 1 damage. And well, that's seen Ben up into P1, but Cello into P3. Look at the position changes here. Mikkel's in first right now, so a little bit skewed, but it is Ben in the lead. Cello behind him. T-Mac as well. What a start from him. And I do believe, yep, his nose is clean. Eccentric. He had so many problems in qualifying, keeping those M plates on his car. But now in the race where it matters the most, he's up into P5 with a clean front wing. Having a look at those tires, like you said, a lot of these drivers switching to the harder compound tires. Look at all of those mediums outside of the top 10. 8th through 15th, all on fresh mediums. Remco Van Putten, he's going for hards to the end, like you said, in 7th place there. Everyone else hasn't pit. You've got Combined YouTuber on the mediums, Eccentric, T-Mac on the hard, so they could be a very interesting component in this race. And Ben the Bear and Cello, the only 2 drivers left on softs. So
that can be very, very interesting. Eccentric with the hards will try to go as long as he can, as I said on the beginning of this race, probably trying to put the soft compound at the end. It doesn't seem like they have damage, because otherwise, they should have pit, I guess, or just trying to stay on their strategy. can be a good move. But right now, I think they will. If they don't have the pace with those hearts, it will be the cork of the bottle for sure for the other drivers with fresher tires or better pace, like the pole sitter Remco or Mikau. He just put it the medium, so he's trying to go for one stop. I really don't think so, but it's not the only driver who put it in the medium. So probably is a two stop here for all these drivers from 7th place to 15th with Panda.
Yeah, I just don't think they trust the hards to go to the end, at least not with any reason about a pace, and especially with Ben the Bear on these softs right now. He's going to preserve them again, so with this safety car, maybe we could see him push for a soft medium. We know Ben to go sometimes for the more outlandish strategy, but even then, Ben's got a lot of pace. We know that. He could have been pole here, I reckon, if that incident hadn't happened through Castle in qualifying. He's now in P1. Remco's in 6th. Mikau's in 7th. They've got, what you just described as the cork in the bottle here. T-Mac, Eccentric combined on these slower tyres. And that could cost them here. Mikau's behind Remco, who's on hards. So even there's a pace difference there. So the thing Ben has here, he's on the soft tyre. He's got a lot of pace. If he can run away with this, if he can get a nice gap here, get himself into the pit lane, get himself onto some mediums to the end if he can try it. If not some hards, they'll be fresher than Remco's, and Mikau will have to pit again. He's on for a really nice race here. I think Mikau had to pit to get rid of the damage. He had an end plate missing on that AlphaTauri. But as for Ben the Bear, I think he is looking very nice. He just needs to stay consistent. He just needs to make sure he keeps his front wing clean. He doesn't have an issue himself through Castle. But yeah, we'll have to see how the rest of this race pans out. I think the safety car should come in at the end of this lap, Alex.
Yeah, it should be on this lap, as all these cars are just compressed, let's say, on this grid. A lot of drivers warming up their tires are ready. Of course, I guess they know it will be on this lap. At least it should be. So at the moment, we will see Remco how he will do on those hards on the restart. Very, very important on this track. Very, very cold surface. So it's very difficult to really, really put the temperature on the compound. So right now, Remco on P6 will try to do the best start he can, or at least try to not lose any time on his main rival at the moment, Mikau. And of course, Ben the Bear, as we have the race director call of safety car on this lap. So Ben will be leading here, probably slowing down a little bit, so he can just call down those hard compounds or these mediums as well.
Yeah, really slowing them down. You can see everyone bunching together here. Eccentric getting ready to get a launch on T-Mac. I don't know if there's been a problem further down the grid. Enzo, Captain of Gold's getting exchanged here. And, well, Captain of Gold no longer just behind his teammate here. So we'll have to see what happens. But Ben still keeping it ready. And there he goes. And what a start he's had. He's absolutely left Cello in his dust. It looks like Goodbye Juju's got a bit of a problem. Remco Van Putten, the Dutchman, already looking for the position. He's on the hard compound side, the medium runner on the outside. Down towards turn 1 they go. The Red Bull looking like he's got the ideal line. The Ferrari a little bit later on the brakes, maybe a little bit too late. You can see the Haas there, a little bit wide, trying to get back on the corner. And you can see now Remco's lost the position to Mikau. What a move from the Australian. He's picked up 3 places. He's into 4th place. And this is exactly how he needed this race start to go. He has absolutely nailed it. He's picked up the pieces where others restart fell apart. And up to P4 is Captain of Gold. He's picked up a position from T-Mac, and I think T-Mac really struggling with that end plate missing. You can see the speed difference between him and Helium as they come through turn 3, and the Haas driver really struggling right now, Vito.
Yeah, now there's an exchange. Mika on the inside of Eccentric, it seems. I think Eccentric probably lost some portion of his front wing because he's really, really slowing down Remco as well. We're talking, but no, clean front wing, just bad on traction. This hard PTR on the inside of Trin on turn 7 is side-by-side contact, and PTR will have terminal damage and another safety car. They went side-by-side on Castle section, as you can see, this never works.
Well, like you said, absolutely never works. Stars here struggling to get around. He's actually picked up a 5-second penalty for that collision there with the stationary car through Castle. And well, another safety car Does Ben take advantage of this now? I think he dropped too far, Alex. I think he'd be put to the bottom of the grid. So I think he has to stay out here and pit under normal conditions. I think there might have been a problem further down the grid, actually. Not sure, as everyone seems to be going a little bit slowly, but very, very unfortunate. You know, side by side through Castle. The drivers, they have to know better than this. Peter, man, it's been so unfortunate. It's been an up and down, you know, up and down season for him. When he finishes, it's brilliant, but it's about a 50-50 split between finishing. Cello, he's coming to the pits.
But Ben
that
doesn't.
seems like a mistake.
But Ben doesn't. I really don't think it's a major mistake. Now, probably it's very, very difficult. Of course, if you didn't take profit of the first one, it doesn't really make sense to take profit of this one, but the subs probably are really, really gone. So probably now you can conserve them, but at the same time, you really want to get rid of them because probably the mediums on probably 1 or 2 laps will be faster than that rail world compound. So right now, Mika on second place. This is a nightmare for Ben, but I really think both have to pit again. But probably Mika will try to pit for used softs at the end of this race, while Ben probably have a new medium on his pocket. So we will see how these drivers can manage this strategy. At the moment, second safety car, lap 5, and I guess green flag should be on lap 7, as these drivers are already picking the queue here.
Yeah, 2 safety cars in a short space of time, and well, that's Baku for you. It's, you know, pretty easy to bring one out here, especially with that castle section. And I'm thinking what Ben can do, and to be honest, I think he's preserving these tires under these safety cars. And you can see Cello right now, we're on board with him. P10 for him. He pitted from P2. Ben doesn't want that traffic, especially not on even tires. That's not what he needs. He needs to risk it, I think. He needs to stay out, try and bring out a gap, and really just try and get a natural pit stop in. Maybe the soft medium. I think he's had long enough to preserve these tires under the safety cars now. Then it might be possible for him. But the only way we're going to find out is by just watching the rest of this race. We're only on lap 5 right now, out of 26, and 2 safety cars already. Mick out into P2 though. That's Ben's biggest problem now. There was a lot of cars between the Australian and the Mercedes driver a moment ago. Now Ben has got the AlphaTauri all in his rear view mirrors. Remco Van Puten's in 3rd as well. Eccentric's in 4th, but Remco and Mick out, the real threats here, because Eccentric, he pitted fairly early in this race to get onto some... No, he hasn't pit actually, has he? He has not pit. That's what the Ferrari... Because he kept his wing clean on that first lap, and he stayed out on the safety car on these hards. Ben, on the other hand, he's on these softs. Like you said, they don't have too long. He's got the rev glitch as well, unfortunately, but he has to really nail this restart again, Alex. It just is imperative for him.
Yeah, totally. As you said, Mikau going from P7, I think it was, on the restart to P2. It's amazing, and this is absolutely good for Mikau's strategy. I really don't know what he has on mind. Don't know the plan, but putting the mediums from here to the end is a really, really harsh job on this track. This track really, really bad on worn tires. Absolutely mad having traction on that rear end with the cleave you can have. So Mika probably tries to conserve now as much as he can on those medium, and then probably trying to go for subs. I really think that could be the strategy, or probably another set of mediums, but then you'll have the same advantage than Ben. So I really don't know how this is going to turn out, Unicorn.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting strategies here. We've got the top 3 right now, soft, medium, and hards, all at play. So we'll have to wait and see. It's Ben in lead of this on the soft tires. Like you said, they are going to be nearing the end of their tethers, whereas Mikau on these fairly fresh mediums that have been preserved on the safety car, they haven't really done any running. They've done half a lap maybe, and well, that's about it. Safety car is coming in. We're going to be restarting this race. Ben the Bear again slowing things right down here, And let's see what he can produce. He had a brilliant restart last time, and there was a bit of carnage behind him. Remco getting nice and close to the rear of Mikau. Already looking to devastate, making his intentions very clear. He wants the position back. He lost it to the Australian the first time round. He wants it back after that incident in turn 1 with the Haas driver. But Ben still waiting to go here. The soft runner really slowing things down, barely on the throttle. Keeping the pace nice and consistent though, but there he goes. He's got a nice exit on Mikau, and Mikau's got a nice exit on Remco. Remco, though, has got a bit of problem in Eccentric behind him. Can the Ferrari find anything? We've got Captain of Gold being taken by Cello and T-Mac. They're side by side, 3 wide, but let's go back up to the front here. Remco Van Putten under pressure from the Ferrari around the outside. Remco closes the door, and Trin almost got past Eccentric, just about close. Maybe he can get it through turn 2. Not going to happen for the Alfa Romeo. Now, no DRS, of course, coming out of a safety car restart, but still ERS and a slipstream down towards turn 3. Trin is weaving, trying to look for the move. Not going to find it, though, in the Alfa Romeo. And this restart, well, so far, it's been a lot more successful, Alex, than the previous one. Panda and T-Mac, they've exchanged their side-by-side down into turn 3. The Haas driver's on the outside. He's got the inside coming down into turn 4. And the mediums not actually serving him very well as they come through turn 4, because Panda's just found all of the pace and the traction on the outside line, and that's brilliant work from him. Meanwhile, at the front, Ben's not running away from Mikau, but they are running away from Remco Van Putten on those hard tyres, Alex.
Tries to throw Kautan on the inside of turn 7. It doesn't seem like it will work. Tella on the outside line, trying to hold there on those hards. Captain seemed like he pitted for new soft, so trying to go, I guess, soft mediums to the end with that new compound. It does seem like he has a lot of pace. And T-Mac and Panda now exchanging, because Panda spawned on the exit of turn 11. Very unfortunate for him, as well as T-Mac. I think another safety car. He crashed into the wall, losing a lot of that front wing, and another safety car. So Ben will not have the opportunity to really go far away from Mikau. Again, another safety car, so probably now he will take profit of that and try to pit, I guess, as I think he's going to the left part of the straight. No, he's not. He's staying out again.
This is a risky game for Ben the Bear. These safety cars are coming out faster and faster, and, well, those softs, even with the preservation they've had under safety car, I reckon they've done about 50% of these laps under, what's the word here? I can't think of the word, but they've only done about 3 laps here under racing, green flag racing conditions, whereas the rest of them have been preserved on the safety car. They still will be, falling off. You can't stop tire wear. A safety car, it reduces tire wear. It doesn't stop it. So
yeah, exactly.
He's gonna have to pit.
Yeah, really. I really don't know in which where he's running right now. Probably around 40, even 30, I guess. Like as you said, it doesn't stop your wear. It just reduces it. As Panda and T-Mac putting those medium strikes to go to the end, I guess. M-Zone 3 pitting as well, putting the hards a little bit more conservative. As we saw in Tier 2, some drivers pitting on this early when there was a safety car for hards and other for mediums. So we will see how this turns out, because right now it seems like obviously the mediums, the fresher mediums will have more pace than those hards at the front of them. So probably T-Mac and Panda try to climb back some places after the spin and the crash out of Castle Section, turn 11 and turn 12 for both of them. I don't know if there was contact between them, but certainly it was to a wall, at least for T-Mac. So yeah, Ben staying out, as we said, on those softs. Really interesting strategy. Probably trying to bring those softs with a medium then and try to go to the end.
What happens if he comes in now, Alex? Because this grid was as bunched up now as it was a lap ago, and pitting last lap would have really not gained him anything other than a lap extra tyre wear. I wonder whether he'll come in now, because he just dropped anyway, and even after a restart he'll probably drop. He is aiming for that left-hand side. I think he's going to fake it though. Is he going to go for it? He doesn't want to cut across the line, so he's going to stay out. But mediums would make it from the end now. I was thinking it, and someone said it in the chat as well, but it is possible to take mediums from the end. I'm trying to work out what he could do, because even with now the soft tires, they're at the end of their, their life. He's got Mikau behind him on these mediums that haven't done a lot of racing. They've been preserved under safety cars, just as his soft have, but they've got a way longer lifespan. Mediums can make it to the end now, and Ben cannot run away. He cannot just run away now because he doesn't have the tires, I don't think. Maybe he's hoping for an incident behind that give him a safety car, a pit stop window to, maybe like 6th place if there, it was a crash in Castle. But that's a slim chance for this Mercedes here, and he's just playing a risky game.
Definitely he is. I think if he beat it on that safety car, he probably would rejoin on pit 10. We saw those bottom 4 drivers, Emzo, Trin, T-Mac, and Panda, bidding for a new compound. So as Ben was ahead, of course he was going to rejoin on this track ahead if those drivers would have pitted. That it seems like, well, they pitted already. So probably Ben will not pit now. Of course, the safety car should be on this lap, so there's no point pitting now. But probably he could have take the advantage there and try to bring the mediums to the end, because otherwise I really don't know which is the plan right now for the Mercedes squad.
Yeah, Alex as well. Chat bringing up an excellent point that there is actually a limit to how many safety cars, VSCs we can see.
It's 5, if I'm not mistaken, between VSCs and safety cars. We actually had that situation on Club Division last season. I think we had 4 safety cars on a VSC, and we didn't have any more, any full course yellow flag after that. So I really think that is the limit, as the safety car will be on this lap.
Yeah, I think Tier 2 Baku last season actually holds the record for MRL for most safety cars. I can't remember exactly how many it was, but it was at least 4 with 1 or 2 VSCs, I think. So I said to Chef the other day, it's not a record we want broken, but the rate this race is going, we've only actually lost 1 driver to a retirement. Peter into the wall at Castle, but Ben once again restarting this race, and he's going a little bit faster this time, Alex. A little bit of extra speed in that Mercedes as he comes down. He's already gone. He's tried to catch Mikau out by going early, and it might just have worked for him here. Eccentric on the rear of Remco once more, but Trin has a brilliant restart. He's got past Emzo already. Looking up at the front, can Eccentric find anything on Remco Van Putten? He can't. Mikau's already caught back up. Shrimp and Helium, they're exchanging it for the second time in a row. A Haas super wide through turn 1. Is that going to open him up to combined behind him? It doesn't look like it will for now. Emzo Panda there side by side coming out of turn 2. The McLaren just ahead of the Williams for now. Stars, he's got a pretty nice run on Shello, but losing a little bit of time now. I think the McLaren might be using a little bit of that battery. But so far, so good. We said that last time. Then we had an incident through Castle, so we'll have to see how this goes.
Yeah, now Captain at the exit of turn 4 on the inside of the Ferrari. Better tires than the Maranello driver. So right now, Combine YouTuber losing a place, of course, with Captain with that soft compound, of course, trying to bring more grip on the Mercedes. Right now, trying to catch Shrimp, who had another bad exit of the safety car, well, a restart. He didn't expect the tires, I guess, to be that cold, and he went wide on turn 1 again as he went losing the rear end on that turn 12. Right now, Captain's really closing that gap on the Haas driver as Ben stays on less than half a second with the AlphaTauri driver, Mikau.
Yeah, Mikau really sticking to the Mercedes like glue, and, well, ERS had a turn 16 through 17 as well, and Ben sliding through 19, a little bit unsettled there. I don't know if that's, a low downforce setup or tires that are really feeling it now, but they do have a really nice gap to Remco Van Putten. So I don't think that Ben has actually made a mistake here. Mikau sets fastest lap of the race, a 1:43.1, and we haven't had a safety car, ladies and gentlemen, as Shrimp and Captain of Gold, they're exchanging down into turn 1. It's the Mercedes on the inside of the Haas driver, and Shrimp really struggling through that corner. Captain of Gold now up into P6. It's been a pretty bad start to this race right now. He's on the softs. Interesting strategy from him. We'll have to see when he comes into this pit lane. But right now, it's working out pretty nicely for him. He's climbing his way back through the point-scoring positions as they come down into turn 3. He stays ahead of the Haas driver. Mikau still very tight to the rear of that gearbox up in the back. And Remco Van Putten, he's catching back up here in that Red Bull. So we'll have to see what these guys do and how Ben the Bear reacts.
Traction Mika on the outside of turn 7, it seems like it will be. Yes, look at that grip on the AlphaTauri, still side by side. We saw that the other way around. It doesn't seem like there will be any contact. Ben just lives and knows that those softs are actually dead at this stage of the race. Probably he will bid on this lap for new mediums, but then Mika will take the lead, and this is massive for him because he can take out of the window of DRS. Remco and putting, even if we don't have DRS yet, but it will be on next lap if I'm not mistaken. So Remco really needs to push, or Ben will extend that gap between him and his rival. Look at the gap just climbing up. It's 1.3 already for the AlphaTauri driver. Now out of DRS, Remco and Pudding now will try to put the gun on the head of Ben on this straight. Look, on Ben crashes and he's out.
Oh my goodness, that is not the first time we have seen a leader crash out of a race here around Baku. And Ben's tyre strategy, we knew it was risky, Alex. We knew it was risky. And Mikkel's into the pits. He's coming in. Is this another set of mediums to the end of this race? Because this is a brilliant idea from the Australian.
It should be that. Ben losing the rear, I think, and the front. Oh, it's a hard compound to the end for Mikkel. That's really impressive. Of course, they will last to the end, but I don't think is the better performance he can get out of that pit stop. So DRS enabled. It was a BSC. I actually thought it was a safety car full, and Celo will try to go on the inside for the podium. Right now on combined YouTuber, he loses another place. The Ferrari driver now has stars on his back. I think he has a 5-second penalty for contact on the castle, I think, on PTR incident. So right now Stars trying to climb again. I think he started on the outside of the top 10, if I'm not mistaken. He started on the mediums. So now Stars really having a good place.
Well, here we go. This has just sort of changed the entire scope of this race. We have got Remco Van Putten leading things up at the top in the Red Bull. He's 2.1 seconds ahead of Captain of Gold, who has to pit off of those softs. There is no way they are going to make it to the end of this race. That is without a doubt. Then we have Cello combined stars on these hards. 6 laps hold, and Trin and Emzo behind him on the hards as well. These guys, again, should be pretty comfortable to the end of this race on that compound tire, and they've got a pretty big DRS train as well. From 3rd all the way down to about 9th. Mikkel should join the back of this as well. Eccentric might catch up too, but pretty big train as of right now. We'll have to see how it develops, but so far, Alex, in the APAC division, we've only had 2 winners. Ben the Bear and Mikkel. Those are the only 2 drivers who have won a race. Ben, he's won the last 5. Obviously, that won't be happening today with him crashing out here. Mikkel won the first 2 when Ben DNF'd. Are we going to see, for the first time, someone other than Mikkel or Ben the Bear win one of these races in season 4, sorry, of APAC Division?
I really think we should be looking one today as Remco really on a big strategy. He has a 2-second gap even with Captain with those 7-lap old soft. But yeah, Mikkel, I think he messed with the strategy. Probably mediums was better because now he's on the hards and he's on the same compound as the leader, so will not be catching, at least now at the moment. And the cliff on the hards is not really a big deal. The hards can go to the end when Remco pitted, and even though he had like 2 safety cars to really take care of that hard compound, so really Mikkel not gaining anything at the moment with this strategy. I think he really messed there. A medium should have been good to climb back that time lost on the pit stop.
There is a big DRS train right now here, and that can mean, you know, the Mikkel could sit on the back of it, you know, farm some ERS, but at the same time it can make overtaking a little bit more difficult, or at least climbing, like you were saying. Now, Chaz brought up a brilliant point again, that he's got Remco might get a 5-second penalty for his entrance into the pit lane, and we've seen that before. Stars, almost a huge snap into the wall there coming through this fast section, but we've seen that rob people of the, you know, Domi, he lost his maiden win in tier 1 as a result of that 5-second penalty for cutting the pit line. So Remco's got to be careful of that, wary of that. you know, if Mikhail's got a race engineer, he'll have been told that, he'll know that, and he'll factor that in to his strategy here. But right now, no one in this DRS train finding anything on one another. And, well, here goes Stars. Yeah, exactly. The AlphaTauri driver looking to the outside. I think combined, I don't know if he lost DRS down the straight on Cello, but Cello really starting to run away a little bit. But Stars not finding anything there. And you can see on board with Panda just the extent of this train. There's a lot of drivers just in and amongst this, and they've all got to be as patient as one another. Captain of Gold right now. Slowly closing the way up to Remco Van Putten, but at the same time, that gap's going to start extending once more when those slots hit a cliff, and he doesn't want to be the second Mercedes to die as a result of those old soft tyres.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Remco, even with the 5-second penalty, will surely have at the end of this race. I think the only thing that can just take away the win would be a safety car, because right now he has the gap on Cello, and he really needs to stay that calm on those hards and try to bring it to the end. He pitted on lap 3, if I'm not mistaken, but it will be, I don't think, a harsh job to put those hards to the end. Right now, Stars very, very close on combined YouTuber, 20% more of battery on that tank on the AlphaTauri. So now very, very close on the slipstream, both utilizing that DRS overtake energy. He will open the DRS slipstream. It seems easy as you like, as Mika as well, his teammate having an overtake. So now Stars on the outside, he is fully ahead on the braking zone, and setting the fastest lap is his teammate Mika after he overtook T-Mac.
Yeah, really nicely done by both of these guys, and the AlphaTauri squad right now on a little bit of a charge. One thing the Stars has is that 5-second penalty, and it's not one that is for, you know, the stewards here, as combined YouTuber had a look but didn't quite find anything. But because he has that 5-second penalty applied by the game, if he comes into the pits again, Alex, he's going to have to serve that, and that can be a blessing or a curse. It means it won't be added to your time at the end of the race, but it does mean it's who is that? It's Shrimp out of this session.
I don't really know what happened.
Road. Safety car again.
Safety car.
Where is that car?
Remco.
Oh, he's just binned it out of turn 3, yeah.
I think he went wide again. Shrimp losing the braking point, probably locking. And it's very, very harsh if you locked up here on Baku. Oh, Ancello got a drive-through on a podium position. That's massive for the McLaren squad, as he will have to serve that after all the safety car. Well, the safety car comes on the lap, and then he will have to serve that drive-through on green flag conditions. Other way, it can't be done, as he got another drive-through. Probably it's a visual glitch.
Yeah, it's come up again, but like you said, probably a visual glitch. Captain of Gold, Alex. Look at the gap. 7 seconds between him and Cello, who's got to drive through. Helium's got to drive through as well. And Captain of Gold can use this. I don't know if he's got a set of mediums. He probably does as he comes in here. And I think Remco might be coming in as well into the pit lane. Shrimp out of the session. Unfortunate for him, but here we go. The 2 leaders are into the pit lane. Cello, is he going to come in as well? It will be for tyres, of course. Not serving that drive through. You can't do it. And I think Enzo's staying out here.
Panda in, Mikau staying out, of course, with those new hards. Eccentric as well on those mediums, trying to go to the end. Very, very good strategy. Ram competed for mediums now. He will stay on second place, it seems. Yeah, oh, side by side. I think Mika was just behind, so he'll have to yield there for Remco. Or is that an illegal overtake for Remco? Yes. So the game said Mika was ahead, and I think he will stay on second place, but with worse compound. Remco needs to clear the traffic here and then pull the 5-second gap, as we said. And I really think Remco's got a very good strategy, because I really don't think those mediums will reach the cliff on the compound. So it doesn't seem like he will lose a lot of time. So always on a very optimal wear those mediums.
Yeah, Remco in P3 right now. That's going to be sending a shiver up Mikhail's spine. He has been, you know, Mikhail tried to take advantage of the VSC onto the hard tires. It was a pretty unique strategy. I wasn't expecting it, but, well, those mediums are looking very dangerous on that Red Bull. Eccentric here as well. He's had a really nice strategy here. Everything is just sort of fallen his way after what looked like a pretty bad qualifying session, really struggling. He's done well here to bring himself up back into P4. And, well, those mediums, 3 laps off, but they still will make it to the end just fine, especially with the safety car preservation. So, Emzo, Mikkel, they've got a few drivers to worry about here. They're the only 2 on the hard compounds, and Emzo on the 7-lap-old hards. Those are going to feel so slow compared to everyone else's tires. Mikkel, 3 laps old. They won't, you know, fall off, but they'll still be feeling pretty sluggish towards the end of this race. But it is, of course, round 8 of the APAC division here at Misfits Racing League. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in at the moment. If you're, you know, wherever you are, it's obviously the morning for us here in Europe, but over in the Asia and Pacific region, what we do this for, obviously much later in the evening for them. But a big shout out to you guys, and a big shout out as well to our partners, Next Level Racing. If you're looking for a sim rig from beginner all the way up to the advanced level stuff, be sure to check them out in the link in the chat or the panels down below, because they've got some awesome stuff. And make sure you're in the community Discord as well for Misfits, so you get notified when we go live, when videos go up, and when community races are around. But with that being said, Alex, this should be the last safety car. This is the max. This is the point where we don't have any more left in the tank. But Mainlander is going to retire at the pits himself after this one, I think. And
Cello pitted for new mediums. I think he thought he was going to serve the drive-thru. Oh, and he went wide on the exit. I think he lost the breaking point of that exit of the pit lane. But, well, he didn't gain. He actually lost time. So Cello right now with the drive-thru again. I think he thought, as I said, he probably could serve that drive-thru. But, well, now it's on a new set of mediums. I don't know if he was already. So if he was already, that's a big mess for him. Now he's in last place and still having to serve the drive-thru.
Here we go. Then safety car should be in at the end of this lap. We've got a McLaren, sorry, at the front of this grid. We've got a McLaren at the back of this. 3 cars out of this Shrimp, Ben and Peter. And, well, with the amount of safety cars we've had, you'd expect it to be a few more here. But APAC Division, they've done well to keep their cars running here. There's a few M plates been flying off, but regardless, everyone doing pretty well to keep themselves going. Mikkel right now, we've seen him take advantage of when Ben's retired before, taking all of those 25 points for the top spot. However, he's got a few problems, and his biggest, Remco van Putten on those medium tyres, fresh out of the pit lane on that Red Bull, and he needs a brilliant start here, Alex. Emzo will be restarting this race for us. Let's see what he can do on these 8-lap-old hards. Remco van Putten here could really get a rocket launcher of a start, and let's see how it goes for him as everyone lining up. Emzo just keeping his speed, bringing it down a little bit in the McLaren, and well, yet to go.
He's waiting. Mika was really lurking there on the back of the McLaren, as well as Remco. He's not really waving those mediums. He really doesn't need to do it as much as these both leaders. Eccentric as well on the back, and now I think Emzo put the throttle down. Remco, he didn't catch that much Mika, but I don't think he will overtake on this main straight. But yeah, really close. So he didn't fall asleep there on the safety car restart. And look at the grip.
Helium, he's had some sort of issue through the first corner, but here goes Captain Agol at the inside of the Ferrari. And Eccentric now could be open to his teammate behind, but Captain Agol, he's really trying to take advantage of everything that's happening here. Trin, he's side by side with Combined YouTuber down through the long straight between turns 2 and 3, and there it is, Combined on the inside, Trin around the outside. What a move from him, and now Panda is going to take advantage as well. He's past the Ferrari, and now Stars as well. Can he find a way around the outside of turn 5? Can he find his way past Combined YouTuber here? Combined late on the brakes, but it gives Stars the inside, but Combined just about holds him off for the time being.
Oh, and Remco, almost on the inside of Mika. He actually had to yield, and Stars losing places. T-Mac now on the inside, I think, of the AlphaTauri, now losing the rear. Stars will go on the inside of turn 8. It seems like it will work. Stars goes ahead of the Haas driver. T-Mac going down to P11 at the moment. Stars losing a lot of work done after the side-by-side action with combined YouTuber. Now Elion will be very, very close on the back of that Ferrari. So the Williams driver really lurking on those softs, trying to go to the end. From here, probably can work, but the cliff would be really awful on those softs.
Yeah, let's see what sort of exit Remco's got. And he hasn't actually had the best of exits here, Alex, and he's actually dropping back from Mikkel, who's getting a nice little slipstream off of the McLaren ahead of him. So Mikkel right now really playing this race very nicely. He's slipstreaming Emzo, and he's going to go for the pass for the lead of this race. He's got a nice purple sector 3, looks around the outside of turn 1. He needs to make sure this goes well for him. And, well, it looks like it has. Emzo now just hops in behind the AlphaTauri. That has brought Remco Van Putten back into the swing of things. DRS still not available to the drivers. But Remco too far back to do anything. Done into turn 3, Alex.
Very close, everyone. Staying on that 1 second window. Only C-Mac, I think he lost it. Probably, I don't know if he has some portion of damage. But right now, both has struggling, one DNF and the other on last place of the running drivers at the moment. Drawing very close on the back of that Ferrari eccentric. I think he's on more worn tires on these mediums. So trying to take profit of that traction, that extra grip he has. Remco very close on Emzo on this castle section. He will have to back a little bit, almost losing the rear. Just locked up the rears, I think, while braking and traction. So right now, Remco on the turn 12, doesn't seem like he will try to move on 15.
I think he's losing time to Emzo here. You can see him, he's just trying to get past, but there's no way through in sector 2, and that's where the mediums right now really had the, the best traction. It's where he's going to find the most advantage. He needs to nail this. He needs to nail turn 16 here, get past Emzo and go and get in the DRS range and pick up, and he has a slide through 16. That could cost him here. He's still very tight to the rear of this McLaren. But look at the gap between Emzo and Mikkel. Even if he gets past right now, as he will, look at the speed. He's going to be out of that DRS range. And here goes. I think he might have pulled out of the slipstream just a little bit early, because Emzo right now, he's burnt a little bit of that battery off. He's only on like 20%. And Remco's falling back here. He's not going to get the McLaren.
No, he's not. I think he's waiting for the next straight as Elio Mancello bit it. I think they had both damage. So right now, Remco staying behind on that McLaren. Now he'll have DRS. Emzo will not have DRS. Remco really needs to push right now, but it doesn't seem like he had a good exit out of turn 2. So right now he'll stay behind on Enzo, and Captain is now catching on the Red Bull ahead of him. Remco really trapped on this, and remember, he has a 5-second penalty that will be added at the end of this race for crossing the white line on entry on the pit lane. So Remco really struggling to find a space to put the car on the inside, on the outside of that McLaren. Right now trying to take profit of that traction, extra grip on the mediums on the run on turn 7. Again, he's locked behind that McLaren Unicorn.
Remco, I thought he was going to try it there into Castle. That would have been catastrophic for both drivers, and if he'd have done that move there into Castle, that would have pretty much gifted Mikkel a win, who's running away with it. 2 seconds now, the gap to the leader for Emzo, but here goes Remco. He's finally found a way through, and well, it's a bit of an unorthodox place. We've seen it there before though, and Remco Van Putten finally gets himself out from behind this McLaren, who has been Mikkel's saving grace here in this race. And well, Mikkel's tyres, they're going to be feeling absolutely fine. So will Remco's. But now he's got a monumental gap to shift. 2 seconds between him and the Australian. And well, Mikkel is going to be pretty happy with how this has gone.
And now M's low on battery, so Captain Gold will try to take profit of this. He's on 35 at the moment. So he will catch soon, I guess, the McLaren driver, as he's trying to stay on DRS as much as he can. This is critical for him as well, so he doesn't lose time now on that compound. So he's really catching the train and just staying. That's a very good plan and strategy for the McLaren driver at the moment.
Cello, Helium exchanging down at the bottom. It may not be for points, but they're still having a bit of fun between them. The Williams, is missing an M plate there, and the McLaren is completely scot-free. So we could see Cello here run away a little bit with the position, but regardless, they're still fighting with DRS down at the bottom. Meanwhile, this train, which Remco now is running away from Emzo, really the cork of the ball, eccentric.
On the outside. Sorry, Eliam on the outside. He had contact, I think, on the wall. He lost an M plate, so he will be dropping on this field. Eccentric and Stream very, very close. This Stream is forming after Captain. It doesn't seem like he can overtake Enzo. He'll try to wait on a straight like Remco did. So right now 1.7, 1.8 and climbing that gap between Remco and Enzo. And Remco closed, I think, 1 second on one lap to Mikau. That's amazing job by Remco, and he really needs to do this.
Yeah, he's pushing hard. Eccentric struggling right now. He had an issue coming out of turn 6. He's picked up a 3-second penalty now, and that's going to cost him with that tightly knit train there. But like you said, Remco really pushing right now. But he's got a problem. He's losing a lot of the ERS, but if he can get DRS, he might be able to gain some of that back. Here is Trin. He's running on Eccentric, and he's doing pretty well. Captain of Gold ahead as well. Captain of Gold's got a huge run on the McLaren of Enzo, and it looks like it's an F2 versus an F1 car, Alex, because look at the pace of that. Captain of Gold just breezing by the McLaren there, and the mediums really paying off right now. Trin still right over the gearbox of Eccentric here as they come out of turn 2. The Alfa Romeo, he has DRS, but so does Eccentric. Eccentric's got it on the McLaren ahead of him, and this train just making it a little bit more difficult to overtake here.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Captain now has to really catch Remco. I don't think Remco is actually fighting for the win, as he's just close to DRS. I think he's fighting for the podium. He wants to be ahead of Enzo and all the train he has behind. He needs to create that 5-second gap. At the moment, I think it's 3.6 and climbing. So at the moment, really good for Remco. He only needs to catch Mikau and overtake him and have clean air so he can push. But I don't think Mikau will be an easy task for the Red Bull driver.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, for Remco, that if he does get that 5-second penalty post-race, that could really cost him here in terms of the points he scored. And you know, it's just super unfortunate. You know, these rules are put in place that a pit lane entrance is something you've got to nail, get right. You can see now Mikau using some of the ERS. He's got way more in the tank than Remco's got here, and it means that Remco now has nothing to answer to Mikau's calls, because now DRS, he's going to close the gap a little bit, but he's not got any overtake to make his job any easier. I don't think he's going to be able to get the move down into turn 1. Enzo and Eccentric, they've exchanged again as easy as you like, but yeah, Remco not finding it down into someone. Trin, what a run!
As well will take it. Will take it. I don't think there was contact. Enzo went wide. He lost an end plate, and Panda will take that place. Very bad luck for the McLaren driver as he lost the end plate going wide. I don't know if there was contact between him and Trin. I really don't think there was. So right now, Combined YouTuber will try to close the gap on Enzo, as well as Eccentric and Trin. Very close after both did the overtake on the McLaren driver.
Yeah, unfortunate for the McLaren squad, as we've got Remco Babu, and he looks like he was going to go for it on the inside of 5. He's all over Mikau right now, but he's not going for the move. He's really patiently waiting, and well, I don't know if he can. Here he goes up the inside of 7 again. He's got to either commit or not go for it. I think he tapped Mikau there a little bit, almost at the avatar into the wall. Let's see, can Trin do anything through 7? He can't. Eccentric still in that 4th place, and Eccentric's got that penalty here with Remco's 5-second. Eccentric hits the wall through Castle, and that's an end plate coming off of the Ferrari with the damage and the penalty. That is bad news for the Scuderia. Combined down in 8th. Eccentric now will probably start to drop. There's only a few laps left in this race, Alex, and gaps are starting to form. The DRS train is shattering apart here.
Trin on the outside, he was lurking. Eccentric had the bad exit of turn 15, but Trin wants to do it on the main straight as he doesn't want any contest from Eccentric to try to do the comeback after the overtake. But now Trin on the back of the Ferrari, more battery, slipstream, good front wing, and now he will just press overtake button. He will have DRS right now, and is a 4th place for the Alfa Romeo driver Trin. Eccentric will fall, and I think Panda will take this as well. Panda doing the overtake as well, and now Eccentric losing another place. Panda's just fully ahead on the exit of turn 1. Very good move from the Australian driver. Now Panda trying to catch Trin as well.
Yeah, really nice racing from these guys, and the tyre strategy really coming to play here. Here's Remco. He's not got it again. This time into turn 3. He's just not finding the run here. The ERS limitations is costing him big time here. He should still, if he gets hit with a 5 seconds, Shaq coming across saying that Trin might pick one. Here he goes. He's not going to commit again. He doesn't want to end Mikau's race, but he's got it on the inside. Mikau's wide. Can he try and find a switch back through 6? He can't. Mikau absolutely making that AlphaTauri as wide as he possibly can. But yeah, Trent, potential penalty if, the stewards deem it his fault for the PTR incident earlier in the race. So that could save Remco here. Captain of Gold could be on for a really, really good finish here. And the Mercedes driver, third in the standings right now, would be nice for him to finish ahead of his rival in Remco Van Putten. Panda struggled through Castle there. I don't think he was missing that end plate before.
Oh yeah, he's missing now.
So I think he's had a bit of a problem to do that. We saw him really wrestling the wheel, and well, that's going to slow the Williams down here, as he probably won't be able to catch Trin now, which was looking slim anyway. Remco still just clinging to the rear. Mikkel. Again, the ERS, the tank is empty. He's still got the overtake button pushed in. But DRS, can he find anything? Helium picks up a 3-second time penalty, but being that he's in P12, I think he's just going for fastest lap at this point for the Williams squad. Stars.
You got it already. Oh yeah, now Stars on Enzo. Enzo had damage. Enzo doesn't have DRS. This will be an easy overtake for Stars. Now climbing back again after I think he had contact on safety car. Restart a little bit wide on turn 1, almost hitting that wall on the outside. Eccentric very, very close on his teammate. I think he lost the place actually from his teammate. So now Combined YouTuber will try to catch in front, probably trying to lurk on Trin place, as Trin probably, as we said, probably can take a penalty after Stewart's review. So right now Remco very, very, very close on Mikau. It doesn't seem like he will take the place. It's 1 lap and a half to go. Right now, Remco really pushing on sector 2. I don't know if he'll put the nose ahead. Yes, he will on turn 7. Right now, Mikau leaves the door open. He doesn't want to risk anything on his front wing. Remco on first place. Again, he recovers it. But remember, he had that 5-second penalty for crossing the lane, the pit lane entry. So right now, Remco will not have the penalty in-game, but probably, yes, well, really, really sure he will have it afterwards. So right now, Remco... Oh, Remco slowed down. What happened? He wants the DRS?
Well, he's absolutely lost the position here, and that's going to cost him big time because Captain of Gold Trin. Trin's actually been closing, and that's going to cost Remco if he does get hit with that 5-second penalty after the race. So right now, Remco Van Putten in big trouble here, Alex, because he needed to get past and stay ahead of Mikkel, and that hasn't happened. They've exchanged twice through Sector 2. And it's very unlikely that you see it, but we have seen it hit, and it's cost them both time, but it doesn't matter to Mikkel. Mikkel, he just needs to keep a cool head here as they're on the final lap of this race. Remco's wide, and he's almost found the wall there. And if he's not careful, he's going to lose the position on track to Captain of Gold here in the last lap. Captain of Gold, he's using a fair amount of ERS here to keep up, but he might find it here. If Remco burns it all through here, you can see him now using battery. He's almost empty. He's been using it through Sector 2 as well. And he could cost himself a P2 on track. Here, Panda under a bit of pressure from Combined. Yeah, exactly. Down to turn 3. Not going to find it there as well. But there's a lot of action on this last lap, Alex.
It is indeed. Stars overtook Eccentric on the main straight. So it's P7 for the AlphaTauri driver right now. Mikau extending the gap. It seems like half a second. Now gap sign lost a little bit. He's on worn tires. 3 lap older than Remco. I think I listened someone touching the wall, but I'm not really sure about that. Remco brushing the wall on the just turn 9 on Castle. I think everyone is fine on this front wing. Right now, Mikau really holding Remco on low ERS, but still will try to do it on line, it seems. On the line on this main straight, like Bottas did on Stroll. Remco jumping that turn 15. Now heading into sector 3. This is very intense unicorn. Last lap, last sector.
Yeah, here we go. Mikkel still in lead, and, well, a whole host of battery compared to Remco. I think Captain of Gold's way too far back to do anything, but I think this race was decided a fair while ago, as Mikkel will cross the line here in Baku and take his 3rd win of the season. He's back onto the podium. Remco finishes P2, and we will get an interview with him as Captain of Gold finishes P3. A nice race from the Mercedes squad.
Eccentric on the line will try it on Stars. It doesn't seem like he has any battery. He's side by side almost, and no, it won't be enough. Eccentric going to P10 after 3-second penalty. Enzo really close on T-Mac there on the crossing line. So it will be P4 for Train, P5 for Panda. Combined YouTuber on 6th place for the Ferrari squad. Stars lining on 7th place. T-Mac now 8th. Enzo almost getting that P8, but It's very, very close. It's 95,000. Then Eccentric, after that 3-second penalty, jumping to P10. So very bad for him. And then Cello and Helium, who will take the fastest lap, will have a P12. So no points even with that fastest lap.
Well, we'll get an interview in just a moment with the top 3 drivers, regardless of what might happen post-race. So that will be Captain of Gold, Remco Van Putten, and of course, Mikkel there on the top spot. It's been a while since we've seen him there, but at the same time, I'm sure he's absolutely delighted that he's picked up first place. I think he got fastest lap as well, so 26 points, and that is exactly what Mikkel's been saying all throughout the season. He wants to just keep consistent and pick up when Ben drops the ball, and that's exactly what happened today. Ben just tried to stay out too long on those soft compound tyres, and as a result, he's put it in the wall. But Mikkel, the Australian, picks up P1 from 4th on the grid. Remco Van Putten from pole position, only able to claw back P2, and he might drop if he gets lumped with a 5-second penalty post-race. Captain of Gold in P3 in the Mercedes. He will be happy with that one, and especially given that his teammate won't be scoring any points here. Trin in P4, Panda in P5, Combined Juju at 6th, Stars 7th, T-Mac 8th, Emzo 9th, Eccentric, after 3-second time penalty applied, finishes 10th, picking up 1 point for the Scuderia. Cello and Helium, the only other finishers in this race, and Shrimp, Ben the Bear, and Peter, all out of this race after various incidents. But, well, Alex, that was a fairly intense race and a pretty good way to round out the week of F1. Remember, everyone, not only have we got interviews, the outro, and a raid coming for you now later this evening for those of us in Europe, and obviously anyone who's awake early in America will have F2, where Alex and I will be back. But before we do that, I think there's going to be some fairly interesting opinions to listen to here for the guys who were on that podium, and fingers crossed we do get some people wanting that interview. At the moment, no one waiting there right now, but fingers crossed we get Captain of Gold, Remco, and Mikkel as well. Captain now in there, so we will have interviews in just a moment. But Alex, before we do, what are your thoughts on that race?
Yeah, that was a very, very intense. We had, I think, 4, even 5 safety cars. I think it was 4 safety cars and 1 BSC. Really, really shaked that grid. Ben losing another probably good result after trying to stay out on those softs, as well, he lost everything, and then a lot of shuffle on positions there on all this race. So right now, I think we have a Captain Gold there on the waiting room. So I will drop him. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Captain, congratulations, a podium for you. It's not the first time being here. You've been here a couple of times. How does that one feel?
3 words. Well done, Baku. I mean, I don't know if you guys caught it on stream, but I don't really know what happened turn 1. I'll let the stewards figure that one out. But I found myself on the escape road. Then I actually hit the wall, but luckily I didn't get any damage. So I've never pressed the brake pedal so hard in my life. And then what's it called? Just went on to the medium. Went on to the mediums, and second safety car came out. Went on the softs. I was actually meant to go back in and do a just jump right back on the mediums, but blessing in disguise, my own mistake. Another safety car came out. I was right back in it. So yeah, pretty happy. I mean, this has probably been one of my best recovery drives in league racing, I reckon.
Yeah, well, like you said, a huge recovery drive. We did catch that turn 1 incident, but the tyre strategy, you said there yourself, staying out on the softs was a mistake, but like you said, it really let you do some really impressive overtakes during the mid portion of that race, and it also meant you didn't get stuck in sort of that DRS train. So just that mid part of the race, making those overtakes, did you realize you were still on for a podium, or were you just focused on just getting past, one after the other?
Oh, what's it called? Shout out Neon, who was engineering me and Ben today. He was pretty much telling me like you need to make the moves and stuff. I mean, I'm just like I've got the tire advantage. I mean, I know like I've just got the mentality of I'm faster than these guys, so I'm just like, all right, it's now or never. So I figured. I mean, I wasn't really thinking about the podium to be honest. I just wanted to get as high up as I could, and the podium was just the benefit of all the chaos. But yeah, that's all good.
Yeah, well, a huge congratulations. Looking forward, Canada, and obviously the rest of the season. What are your thoughts on Canada? Did you like the track? Are you confident around there? Are you hopeful that maybe we could see you again on the podium next week?
I'd hope so. I mean, Canada. I mean, it's not my favorite, but I mean, I'm all down to give it a red hot crack. I mean, hopefully, us and the Merc boys will figure out a good setup, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Well, again, huge congratulations, Captain, and I'm sure we'll see you in the interview box at some time in the near future. But thank you for taking the time out to interview her.
Awesome. Cheers, buddy.
All right, and then Bito, I'll let you take it over for our race winner again. Mikhail, it's been a little while since you've been on the top spot, but Bito, I'll let you take it away. Congratulations, Mikhail.
Yeah, that I really don't know where to start. It was a very, very intense race. You were P2, P7 on a restart, then P2 after a triple overtake, I think it was on turn 1. Then you jump back to, you fall down to P10, and then you won the race. Tell us, Mika, how you did this job, because it was very, very good to see from outside.
Thank you. I echo you what you said, Bido. In terms of not knowing where to start. That race was just insane. I mean, I had no idea what to expect coming into Baku. Seeing the races throughout the week, seeing my past experience as well with Baku, both in Emerald and in other leagues, has been quite all over the place. So, yeah, Baku definitely was a strange one. It was actually very hard to figure out what to do with all of the early safety cars. Because some people were pitting, some people decided to stay out. I actually got damage on the first corner, which was a bit scary. But yeah, just I'm lost for words. Well, in all honesty, very unfortunate for Ben. I'm not sure what happened to him about halfway through the race. But no, don't want to see him go out like that. But yeah, the competitor in me is like, all right, that's another 25 points over Ben. So yeah, very, very happy with the result.
Yeah, very, very good race. Did you actually thought that you were going to stay ahead of Remco, or like the mediums seemed like they were so powerful, but at the end it seemed like Remco didn't was wasn't able to overtake you. Probably a lot of drag, but did you expect to stay ahead of him?
No. I didn't expect to stay ahead of him. He actually passed me, I think, with 2 laps to go into turn 7. I don't know if that was caught on the stream, but he did make that move. Then I was able to get back past him at turn 15. But yeah, I mean, I was running fairly low wings, so yeah, passing me down the main straight probably wasn't easy. It certainly made my job a little bit easier, and also just managing the fuel, managing the tires, the battery. But yes, those mediums were very, very scary, especially in that middle part of the lap. Like I just saw the gap close up by like 8 tenths every lap. It was very great, very, very scary.
Very, very good job today, Mika. So we will hope that you go strong as you went here on Baku on Canada next week. So this is all for me, Unicorn. Any questions for the race winner today?
Well, Mikhail, just again, congratulations. Looking forward. Obviously, you've been saying all season long that you just want to maximize your points when Ben has these, incidents, and it's been a while since we've seen Ben crash. He hasn't done it since Bahrain, and now you've picked up that point. Is it, just the same going forward week after week, just trying to maximize, the points you could score, just as you've been saying throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, the approach hasn't changed. I actually changed back to the helmet I ran last season, and it gave me some good fortune, I guess. So I have to keep that helmet if you're the superstitious type. But no, Yeah, this approach will be the same as every week. Just try and maximize it. Every day. Canada will be a struggle. Like similar to Monaco, it's one of my weaker tracks with all of the chicanes. But we'll see what happens. Very easy to get penalties there. Very easy to hit a wall there. And yeah, we'll just keep pushing forward and try and stay as consistent as we can.
Well, again, congratulations. Thanks for taking the time out to interview here today, and I'm sure it won't be long until we interview you again. So good luck for Canada, and we'll speak to you again soon.
Yeah, that's the plan. Thank you, guys.
All right, so that just about wraps everything up here. Like we said, we'll be rating someone in the F1 community in just a moment. Alex, any closing remarks before we go play the outro and do that raid?
That was intense, a lot of safety car, a lot of BSC. So I hope you guys stay tuned for F2 action today at 8 p.m. GMT. So it will be amazing action for sure on Baku as well and F2 cars. So I really hope to see you guys there. This is all for me. It's been Beta and Unicorn on the booth.
Yeah, absolutely. And cheers, Alex, for tuning in, because obviously we didn't have you at the start, but brilliant role standing in there for Seb. But yeah, we'll be back tonight at 8 p.m. like Alex said, for F2. And if you want to watch F1, kicks off on Tuesday with Alex and Strifium at 8 p.m. GMT, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Canada Tier 3. But also be sure to go check out all of this week's highlights, replays, as well as all of the previous race replays and highlights on the Misfits YouTube channel. Make sure you're in the Discord as well. Brilliant community of like-minded F1 racers for community races, notifications for when videos and streams go live, and a big shout out as well to our partners Next Level Racing. You can check them out in the link in the chat or the panels down below for some awesome sim racing hardware. And they're doing just brilliant things for the sim racing community as a whole. But that's all from us. We're going to hit you with the outro. And then, as always, raid a member of the F1 community. So thank you, everyone, very much for watching. All your support is very much appreciated. And we will see you in the next one.